Remember I told you earlier there was even this strategy piece that was going on.
I know. I'm fascinated by that. Tell me, in other words, he literally saw Jesus strategizing on how to win souls. Tell me, describe one thing you saw about the strategy.
Well, you got to understand that the strategy or the prompting for the strategy comes from us praying on this planet. We don't understand that sometimes, but even Jesus Christ said that we're to pray that more laborers go into the field. Well, we sometimes pass that by. But that, when he said that, that's a reality, because God's going to move off of our prayers that are from the heart. And literally these prayers would go to the Father. He would communicate to Jesus. Jesus had around him a number of what I call beings, being everything that God created them to be. Some had been redeemed. Some of them we would have called angels. But they were there, and he would communicate with them about plans that he had on how to get someone on this planet moved in a direction to accept him as Lord and Savior. I can remember him looking at them, and when he would look at them, they literally would bow before him, not take their eyes off him, and back out and go and do their assignment. Now, I came to understand he wasn't looking at them so much as what the strategy should be, because they were obeying him. They were not back talking or coming up with a different plan. What he was looking at is this planet. He was seeing down here who would fulfill their piece of the part of the strategy on this planet. The closest I can come to any example would be like Saul, when he was talking to Saul and he told Saul to go wait, and then Ananias told Ananias to go and talk to Saul. Remember Ananias, when he first talked to him, said, wait a minute, do you know who this is? Many people on this planet, when the Lord is telling them to do something, they balk at it or they reject it. And he's saying, okay, I can't count on them. I got to find somebody else. You know, and he goes and tries to find someone else. That's what the strategy is all about.
You know what it reminds me of? Catherine Coleman. She shared the story. She had the greatest miracle ministry of her generation. She shares the story that God selected many men for that miracle ministry, and they all turned God down. Now, I'm sure he didn't say, I want to give you a miracle ministry, and the man didn't say, well, I don't want it. But just step by step, because God leads you. All these men turn God down. So Catherine said, I was the bottom of the barrel, but I said yes.
Yes.
Tell me something you saw about strategy, where they were strategizing for a particular part of the world.
Well, you know, one of the places I saw when I was there, you could see where the prayers were coming from. You could literally see prayers coming from this planet into heaven. And literally, I could say, this area's got this much of a percentage of prayers, maybe 1 in 10. You had anywhere from maybe a 1 to a 10 coming from this planet. Where one of the areas I saw a lot of prayers coming from was what we call the Far East. You know, around the
Is that why so many Muslims are having dreams and visions of Jesus?
Yes.
That's all part of the strategy?
That's all part of the strategy. He is reaching out to that part because of the prayers coming from that area. And in the sense that I saw him look at these beings, and part of these beings were Peter and James. He looked at their group, and literally several of those angels, we would call, left their group to head down to that part of our planet.